Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages of love. Yes, because we love, love, love. Here. Okay. No, I can't do that. I see little marks on here, which looks like it's coming from my nail polish. Whoopsie. Okay, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way and let whoever wants to come out and play with us today. And it's this guy. Ooh, what's this? This one, openness. Okay. The energy of openness helps you take an open and honest look at yourself. Quite often, we have all kinds of saboteurs working against us at a subconscious level, thus preventing us from feeling what really occupies us. This energy helps us to recognize this and to experience ourselves at a deeper level. Take up the challenge to speak your own truth. Okay, openness, openness, open and honest look at yourself. Well, this is part of the healing journey, right? It's a lot of looking at yourself, introspection, recognition, and all of the things like honestly, right? Why do I behave that way when these circumstances are around or right? Why do I bottle up? Why do I run away? Why do I stay? Whatever the case may be, right? We do a lot of things in an attempt to keep ourselves safe or avoid. Avoid is a huge thing. If you ignore it, it will go away. But there will always be residual. So you are already high in openness, okay? And I think it's an ongoing thing. I don't think because we're constantly expanding as we grow, so there's a constant opening, just like there's always a constant need for release, right? We consume to expand, and you need to release what no longer serves, what's no longer relevant to keep moving forward. So I'm really getting a sense of this, like feeling an openness, also like with expectations, openness to allow things to shift, move, evolve in the way that's meant to, even if it's different than what you think or plan for, right? The more open you are, the more in flow you will be, because we can create resistances for ourselves trying to force it in a certain way. You know, like in art, you can sit down to start to draw a specific thing, but you need a certain level of openness to allow what is actually coming out, what is actually happening to happen. Because if you stay too fixed, this thing that's happening creatively, and you're like, but that's not what I'm making this other thing. And then you're in this like tug of war between what you want to happen and what is actually happening. And the minute, I mean, for me, experientially, the minute you surrender and just allow what is happening, that's when beautiful things happen with flow, with ease. Okay, we got Jera and Othala. Ooh. So this one speaks about inheritance and this awareness of basically leaving things better than when you've got it, or than when you got it, adding on to, like inheritance wise, right? For the next generation. And then Jera is about new beginnings, but also hard work leading to fruitful rewards. Okay, we'll just let the book do its talking here. Okay. La, la. Look at the beautiful home the little hermit crab has inherited from the crab that came before him. If each generation treats this shell with delicacy and contributes their own positive acts of care, upkeep, and enhancement, the ancestral property will remain strong and give strength to the lineage going forward. Othala asks you to look at your place in time and space, both in terms of the inheritance coming to you and the inheritance you will leave behind. It calls for wise management of resources. Okay. Home inheritance, group prosperity, heritage, and ancestors. And then we have, after much diligence, the honeybee finally reaps the sweetest harvest. They are connected and attuned to the slow, ever-moving cycles of nature and time. The bee needs to move through many steps and stages before their efforts in the wild flower fields bring the joyful harvest of honey. As the 12th rune, Jera speaks of the yearly cycles of tilling, sowing, and reaping. It awaits the slow arrival of change with patience and planning and hard work. Jera has a steady and joyous energy, and it calls you to pause for a moment and pay attention. You will reap what you sow. So what kind of seeds have you sown? Jarrett indicates a total and happy completion with the promise that your rewards are coming. Yay. Fruition, balance, abundance, cycles and rhythms, and harmony. Yes. So open to receive your harvest that you've worked so hard for to create. Right? There's a lot of patience coming through these readings. Right? Hold the frequency. Be patient. Divine timing. Things will be when and what they will be. And to just focus on maintaining the joyful flow until it happens, until harvest day, right? Not waiting, being in gratitude, in joy, in love. It's a hard thing. Somewhere along the way, we became human doings instead of human beings. So this is like a reclamation of your being states, your beingness. Reclaim your beingness and be. Okay. Let's pick a card, any card. Oh, that was 2 cards. Wanted to play with us as we flick a card here and there and everywhere. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What's happening? There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There we go. Just gotta feel it out. Move it around a bit. Like so. Yes, yes. Okay. We've got the Queen of Wands energy. Okay, this is beautiful. This is definitely someone who's been working hard, diligently. This is confidence. This is capable. This is consistent. Also charismatic, someone who is kind of stepping into their confidence. This is that owning of self. This is that recognition of self and allowing self to be seen. You know, we tend to mask up when we go out, and this is kind of like a blatant, well, here I am, this is me, no masks kind of a era. And I feel like this runs in with this openness, being open to be seen, which is another way of being open to receive. So that's beautiful. We've got temperance. So this is making me think of, one of them was talking, I think it's Othala, was talking about being mindful with your resources right now. Okay, I feel like this is your extra. This is a figure in a boat with extra oars, okay, more than they need to propel their boat. And this temperance, this process, waiting process. So this is kind of like whatever extra stuff is coming to you, just don't be too quick to, what is it? Spend, right? Like be mindful of what you are leaving behind. Be intentional. Okay, yes, because this is also a strength building. This is like a preparation almost, right? It may look like you're driving around with extra oars in your boat, but it's because pretty soon you are going to interact or come around people, other boats that don't have oars, and you will be in a position to share, right? But if you are, throwing your extra oars around like nothing, then when that happens, you're not going to have the extra to play with. Okay, so there's something about the strength around this reserving, and this could be anything: money, resources, time, energy, attention. Okay, we will see. What do we got here? We've got destiny. Okay, so this is a message coming from this figure. Okay, now this is you, someone in your energy field, or the person, place, or thing, right? You need to feel with your own intuition where things apply. Okay, but this scene, confidently standing in their own, has a message, and it's true. Okay, this is destiny, but it's also truth. And this is the messenger, and it's springing forth here towards what? Okay, becoming an overflowing cup. So, and this is like your expertise, So expertise in the truth that you're sharing about being an overflowing cup, you know, like maybe this is a new thing for you. Maybe this is part of your legacy, the things that the way you have gotten to a place where you can stand confidently in your own, sharing that with others who want to become overflowing cups, see you as an overflowing cup and want to know how that happened. How'd you get there? What'd you do? Right? So that could be a truth sharing of expertise here, sending the messages out. Wow, wow, wow. These two cards came out together. Oh my God. This is all the abundance in the world. This is physical, stable, generational, fixed, physical realm abundance. And this is emotional fulfillment, um, all of the non physical abundance. Okay. This is loving what you do, loving who you're with, loving where you are. But more than that, like gratitude and just fulfillment. So, wow. Okay. And then, oh my goodness, seriously beautiful. Okay. We got reciprocating relationships and the Empress. Wow. This is the birther of all the things. Okay. And this is partnerships, reciprocating relationships of all kinds. This is business partners, neighbors, friends, soul tribe, lovers, whatever you're into. And this Empress, pulls it all in, births it all, and draws it all in. Wowza. Wowza. Okay, I'm getting very much, this is this harvest, this patience in the process delivering here. Beautiful. I really feel this Queen of Wands is the example of becoming one who manifests all of the things, one who evolves from someone out in the cold. This is like you have all these people standing out in the cold and they're all like, this is how we live. This is how generations before me have always done it. We've always stood out in the cold. And this Queen of Wands is like, it looks pretty warm inside. Maybe I want to go in there. And they're like, no, don't go in there. It's unknown. It's scary. It's a whole different environment. Look at all these beautiful coats that we have. Can't wear those in there. It'll be too hot. You know, like all the reasons to not go in. And this Queen of Wands is like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in there. And they go in there and they come out an overflowing cup full of abundance and gorgeousness. And it's like she's standing, you know, in the doorway being like, hey guys. And they're all like, whoa, what happened to you? How did you do all this? And she's like, come here, let me fill you in. Let me take your coat, right? So that's beautiful. I think this is part of your experience here. No, you know what? It doesn't come out here. It doesn't get to come out here. That's what you have overcome. That's the old world. That's the old version. The old way of being. We're all in, well, especially on this channel, we're all in various stages of going in. Right? Tired of standing out in the cold and recognizing you're the only one who can choose to move in, go within. Okay, we got the Seven of Cups here, which is luck a-flowing. And there's the grounding, balancing, and your patience. Okay, so this lucky overflow here, I think this is involved with this here. This is why you are being mindful, reserving your resources at this time. Because I feel like as luck will have it, you will be in a position where you can overflow onto many, many people and help them in some way. Like, what the heck? That's crazy. Crazy beautiful. Okay, and then, yes, the grounding, centering. I feel like this is definitely up here. This is how you connect to your truth, how you connect to your center by grounding, meditating, balancing physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, connected to your spirit team, your higher self intuition, and a certain level of outsideness, but inside, right? Like outside of the noise of the world. This is, you need to in order to center and ground within yourself. I think this is part of your mastery and part of your truth and or destiny. Your ability to do this. This is what empowers you as one who is confident and able to stand in their own and own themselves. And speaking truths here. Okay, so this patient in particular, Knight, is preparing, I mean, just for balance sake, these two knights moving, because the Ace of Cups is also an offer. So if this is a message coming from this queen that is en route, and you just have to wait for it to arrive, right? This could be an opportunity. This queen could represent an opportunity that's on its way with an offer that leads to reciprocating relationships, right? Because the Empress, she's calling everything in. She's calling and birthing and magnetizing all of the things. Okay, what we got here? What's this? What happened? Things got crazy here. Okay, the High Priestess, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Well, this is the world that you're creating, that you're intuiting, right? You're sensing this balance, this joy, this union. This is the new world that you're creating, one where there is stability, structure, celebration, joy, love, partnership, stability. Okay, this is definitely somewhere in this reciprocating relationships here. I mean, it's kind of more like this, isn't it? Because I feel like these reciprocating relationships, right? Like if you are doing a job that gives you joy, that's this, right? You're making money doing something that you love. That's these two cards. That's what you're drawing in. You know, if it's a business partnership or love partnership or whatever, it's all going to contribute to this. Okay? Because this is stability. This is like you're balanced in all of the areas, stable and secure in all of the areas. Because then this is your mindful hand in the manifesting of your dream life, your dream world, creating the world you want to live in through experience, through truth, through balancing, and intuiting things coming to you, offers coming to you, right? Because you are the Empress, you're drawing them in. You know that they're coming. You know the things are en route to you. Yes, you do. This is that openness, right? Okay, we got the death and transformation. Okay, this is death and transformation of the old life version of you, right? Like when you have spent all of your life outside and then you choose to go inside, well, that's the death of the old version of you who existed outside. You now are reborn as someone who is inside. Okay, this is the active role in harnessing the power of the sun. This is the choosing the light, right? And this is coming out of your comfort zones, out of your safe spaces. This could also represent like the coming out of hermit as you embody this openness. I'm putting those down. Even though death is part of all of the new birthing. Like I would have put death here beside the Empress. Because to birth new things, you must put to rest old things. Right? Just like the womb sheds the old container, life-giving container. If life doesn't happen within it, it sheds it and releases it and then creates another environment. It's part of life. Death and release, death and transformation. I'm so picky. Yeah, this is your era where you're like, you know what? I don't want that. That's not part of my life anymore. Devils. Yeah, devils don't get to play on this table, right? We're aware of them. We're aware of contrast. We're aware of adversaries, people, places, and things that kind of block our trajectory. But we're now at a stage of acknowledgement and gratitude for those things because they help further define where we want to go, who we want to be, what we want to do, right? When you have 3 flavors of ice cream to choose from and you try all of them and you hate 2 of them, well, you just narrowed down which one you like, right? You got clarity in that situation. Okay. Okay, give us some cards here. Who wants to flip out and be a part of this reading? Being openness. It's also overcoming fears, right? To move from an outside space that you have been born into, so you have all of the things, and choosing to go in to be one with the heart. Where was I going with that? Well, there's doubts and fears, right? Because it's an unknown. You're heading into unknown territory. And so it's okay to recognize, like we saw it. We saw the devils. They're around. We know it. But what we choose to do with them matters, right? We choose to overcome. Sometimes you can use, well, most of the time you can use fear as an indicator light. That's like, move closer to that. Oh, that makes you a little bit scared. Why? What about it? Right? It's an opportunity for self-reflection, to go within, to understand, and then make educated choices on how to move forward. Right? What are you scared about? Well, I'm not going to lose life or limb. So how scary is it? What's the worst thing that could happen? Right? And push yourself, move yourself through it. This is why we react to the devils, to the adversaries, to the doubts and the fears with gratitude. Because it shows us what we need to work on, what we need to heal, what we need to let go, and what we need to overcome. Okay, the King of Cups is emotionally, this is the Heart King. It's grounded, centered, beautiful, capable, confident, compassionate. Right? This is creative and just emotional availability. Emotional availability. Okay, and I feel like this is part of the truth and a good balancing with the Queen here. You want to be always grounded, centered, connected to your heart space with everything that you speak in truth, right? You're speaking from the heart. Every shine, you're shining from your center, your solar chakra. Okay, we've got more nights, passionately moving, and sparks of creativity. Okay, this could be over here because the Empress also births new ideas, creative ventures, brilliant things, okay, that feed your soul. And your connection to your intuition lets you know, and your heart too, that it's something to move on. You need to move on the things that impassion you, right? This is the red all behind this Knight of Wands, plus fire energy. And this is, well, this is kind of this balance between the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. We've got the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, right? So you're patiently waiting to move on passionate ideas, passionate. It's like if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, right? This isn't maybe or sure or why not or we'll see or I don't know, right? This is yes, and that's when you move. That's when you make your move. Take your action. Start flowing in that direction. Yeah, because you want to make sure that what you're offering is overflowing, right? And that it's coming from this authentic place of truth and clarity, peace, love, gorgeousness. Gorgeousness. What else we got? Oi, boundaries. Boundaries on the kind of world you want to live in. Boundaries on the kinds of things you are investing your things into, right? Boundaries around your truth and what you know. Yeah, because there are some that just aren't open to receive. And so that would be a waste of your time, energy, and effort to try to speak your truth to those who aren't open to receive it, right? And so you need to recognize when you are in an environment that can receive your truth and when you just know your truth and carry on, right? It's like caterpillar people don't understand butterfly language, right? And it's just the nicest way. It's just, they're just two different things. They're just two different things. One's not necessarily better than the other. They're just not speaking the same language. It's like, you know, when you there's like somebody who doesn't speak a language and you try and say something to them in English and they're like, I don't speak English or whatever. And then they repeat the same thing in English, but they talk slower or louder. And then you see the other person be like, that's going to help. Like, I still don't understand your language. It doesn't matter how fast or loud you speak. It's not going to change the fact that I don't speak English, right? It's like that. But that's an excessive use of energy. That's like, yeah, trying to speak to somebody who can't hear you. And you're just yelling and yelling. And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, damn it! Spent, because you just used all your energy. Okay, we got it. We got it figured. Okay, Death wants to come out and be a part of it, and so does Six of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So I want to say that there may be some relationships that you need to let go of, some ideals, some... No. I'm going to put this harnessing here. This is an active, right? The sun, the masculine and feminine energies, the sun and the moon. The masculine is about action. And this is the harnessing and balancing of the sun and the moon. This is also makes me think of reciprocating relationships, right? Because a lot of times it's like a balancing. That's why it reciprocates. It's like all things are covered, right? You got people bringing in all their things to the table, and everybody's contributions creates a full meal. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, lost it. But this death and transformation, I think this is here, actually. Death of the old world, transforming it into the kind of world you want to live in, and you as well. And through your experience, through your expertise, and your continual openness and readiness to learn and adapt, right? This is how we constantly evolve, expand. You're never just a master and then that's it. You're still, there's always room to evolve, to grow, to expand. And also putting to death the old, those old versions of self. This is another level or layer of the self analysis and introspection, because you know, it's like ski tracks. You know how when skis are going and you're following somebody else's tracks, well, there's like a little edge and it's hard to break out of it, right? And so you may have shifted from that old track, but every once in a while you might pop back into it, right? You're kind of skidding around, across, through, around, but every once in a while you might hit, and it's so easy just to pop back into that old track because it's worn, it's used, it's familiar. And so this recognizing when you're doing that and kicking yourself up, nope, that track's dead. We're on this track now. Let's get back to it, right? Okay. Any other cards want to come out and play? Just that everything that is coming to you to receive is part of what is meant to be yours, okay? And I just feel like this justice, is it this way? Might be. Because the Empress she's drawing in, she is both the receiver and the birther and the receiver. And this justice, it's like the old world was imbalanced. You were pouring everything in. You were doing all the things. You were giving too much, feeling too much. Well, not too much, but more than you were getting back, right? So there was an imbalance. This justice is about a rebalancing. This new world is about no longer over giving. Now it's about reserving in order to give mindfully, passionately, from the heart, from truth, not out of obligation or protection, safety, survival, all of the reasons why we tend to give more. There's also like when you're conditioned to give without return, you get stuck in that track and you attract others who are takers without return. And that world is over. You're seeing those people from a mile away and you're like, no, thank you. You've got a sign on your front door now that says, do not disturb. No solicitors. Yeah, solicitors, they're the worst for people pleasers. I've been there, had like food cooking on the stove and somebody knocks on my door and I go answer it and now they're talking to me and I'm like, sorry, I have to, and then things are burnt and all this stuff. Now I'm like, if I'm not expecting you and you knock on my door and I'm in the middle of cooking or busy doing something, I'm not answering the door. Okay, so this new world is a wish for you. You want to be a part of a world where there's reciprocating relationships, right? Where you are only attracting those who want to give to you as much as you give. This is that justice balance scale, balancing scale. Action. Okay. Anybody else? The sun. And getting to the top of the mountain, reaching your goal. Yeah, you've done it. I think you've successfully, like, you're more in the new world than you are in the old world. I think there's still a little bit of tiptoeing. Like one of the kitty cards that I'm thinking of right now is the threshold. And it's this kitty that's like, kind of in and out, going in, but then coming back out again and kind of hanging around the threshold. But they're mostly over the threshold. And I think that's what's going on here. This is hallelujah. This is the new sun in your new world, shining bright, giving life. This is beautiful. This is a yes. This is success. This is life-giving abundance. This is everything that this new world has to offer. And it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunshine. Okay, I want to do some charms because they're fun. It's because I love miniature things. I'm kind of a miniaturist. Oh, that's lots. That's way too many, maybe. Okay, we've got this bird here. What is this? This is reminding me of those classic, what are they? The birds that are they swallows or something like that? Sparrows? The ones in the Sailor Jerry tattoo shops. What do they mean? There's some sort of peace and prosperity. Sure, we'll take it. We've got a feather, so angel guidance and support. We've got the ornate heart, two different things coming together. This is giving me this this vibe here of the reciprocating relationships, right? We've got two halves making a whole. Even though in this world it's about two holes making two holes coming together, but symbolically, that's beautiful. Okay, I just suddenly wanted to put down everybody in a spot, but now I don't know where to put the bird. The bird could be this overflowing cup, the feathers, your angel guides. This is the justice, right? You're weighing your heart against a feather. Sure. Okay, we've got abundance. This is like a tree or coral, something gorgeous and abundant. So that's physical realm here. We got star power. There's the sun. We got what is this, a dachshund? Wiener dog. I don't know what to do with the wiener dog. Wiener dogs, they are loyal. There you go. Loyalty. Sure, reciprocating relationships. Loyalty, absolutely. Oh, look, luck. Luck be on your side. That's this luck overflowing here. We've got a flower. It's a 6-petal flower. What's that? I don't know. Things blooming and growing. There's your manifestation coming in. We've got an ice skate. Huh. Well, sharp, glides, carves, sprays, pirouettes. Canada? I don't know. What do we say? This is the death of the old, okay? Old being out in the cold. That's all I got left. It's this ice skate. Okay, and then we've got the bluebird of happiness, even though it's not blue. Oh, it was blue for a second. Ha! I knew it was the bluebird of happiness. Okay, well, that's right there. And then more sunflower power. Okay, beautiful. The sun and the star. The sun is the star. Where else can the star go? Oh, the star's up here, of course. I guess that's interchangeable. Okay, because I feel like this is sun vibes, right? You're embodying the power of the sun, not afraid to shine, just unabashedly confident. Okay, that's that. What do you think? Let's see what other cards are calling to me. Mushrooms? Okay, we'll do one mushroom card. I have been without mushrooms for must be 3 weeks now. I still have yet to stop at my mushroom people's home office yet, and they don't come to the market anymore. Dang it! Okay, let's get a mushroom card. Tell us something good to fill in, to express, to confirm, to clarify, to add, or just give us a message of love. Okay, that kind of just fell out because I was not holding it properly. Okay, we'll try it again. Okay, there's our card. Define the rosy bonnet. Okay, rosy bonnet, what you got for us? Number 32, which is a 5 if you add them together. 32, where are you? There you are. There are similarities at play here. Where do you need to look more closely at the finer detail? There's something you might not be noticing, and when you understand what you are really looking for, it will be easier to identify, of course. You might be making an assumption about something or someone and aren't really seeing the full picture. Make sure you do your research and due diligence in this matter. Really give it a lot of thought. Then, when you are certain what you need to look for, put it into action. Okay, this is giving me what's going on up here vibes. This card might also mean that you need to help others see what is before them and show them how to look for similarities so they too can find exactly what they are searching for. Okay. It could be time to define what you are looking for. Are you being a bit too vague and need to really look at the finer details? Only when we truly define what it is that we want can we manifest it in our lives. Don't be fooled by appearances either. Someone may be trying to be something they are not. There might not be anything wrong with that, but it's always good to understand why. Not everything is as it seems, but that is not always something to be worried about. Keep your wits about you and see what's really in front of you. Looks can be deceiving. Yeah, and I'm immediately being shown like a shiny, beautiful package, like a Christmas wrapped package. And, the bows, big and beautiful. There's lots of ribbons and colors and textures. But when you open it up, it's empty. There's nothing inside, right? And whereas, there's this other box that someone upcycled and self-wrapped, and maybe it's your kid, right? And they just grabbed whatever they could to wrap up. My stepdad, when I was growing up, used to hide the shapes and sizes of the gifts in other boxes, and or would like duct tape something so that it was like this big, and it took 3 hours to try and open this freaking thing up, and it's like this big inside or whatever. But not that. Back to the package looking weird. You know what they know about the whole package thing, right? Like, looks can be deceiving, and to not judge a package by its cover, right? Because it's about the liquid sunshine inside, right? This is why I think this whole quest for the Holy Grail and stuff like that, and everybody's got their idea of what this Holy Grail looks like. And it's probably just like a clay, thing that was used magically. And so many people dismiss it, trade it, step over it, whatever, because it's not what they anticipate. Okay, I don't know where we were going there, but I feel like I spent way too much time on the defining of this package thing where I think it's pretty clear. We get it. We got it. It's good. Okay, so, but still be intentional. Um, this is part of the working with the adversaries, working with the devils when they present themselves. This is an acknowledgement of helping to define, right? Like, um, this is also considering devils as cooperative components instead of personally placed problems. Okay. That changing your mindset too, that's leaving that old world where it was like, oh, it's another problem that I have to overcome, in this new world of being like, oh, okay, this is another moment for me to expand, for me to learn, for me to grow, for me to further define what it is that I do want, right? Okay. There it is. I don't know if I like all these flying around, so we'll just put them back on the bowl tray. Okay, but now we know. Now we know. There we go. Okay, that's the reading for you today, and it's beautiful. Abundance coming your way, stability, reciprocating relationships. Like, it's gorgeous, okay? You just need to shine bright, trust your heart, trust your action, right? Move from the heart, move on passionate things, balance, ground, center, okay? Mindfully embrace this new world and put to death that old world. But know that there's an integration period. Know that there is a crossover period where the two combine. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. I'm sorry. Some of that was in my head. I wanted to just, that threshold card from the kitties. I wanted to, it just feels so relevant. And so I'm just going to see if it wants to come out. The standing on the threshold. It says something about it's okay to kind of go back and forth and take your time going through, but you will eventually fully commit. And there's something about turn back now gargoyles. They're like, don't go that way, it's unknown, right? Those voices, those doubts, those fears, those people who don't know better, don't have all the information, who don't have the same level of courage. And so they don't want you to show them that it is possible, because then maybe they'll have to do it. And they've already chosen to exist in this other world, right? Okay, we got solitude and night magic. Meet Lily. She sits contently in the center of the sky. Everything is vast, still, and quietly beautiful. The wind might rustle a song out of the leaves, but she is far from human voices and other meows and hisses. Lily contains the sweet, peaceful expanse of solitude. She will return to the world soon, but for now, let's not disturb her. Find your own space to meet yourself. Perhaps it is in the woods, or perhaps it is on a crowded dance floor with your eyes closed. When you are alone, it is easier to hear your own voice, to discern your longings, and rekindle faith in yourself. Okay, beautiful. That's definitely confirming over here. And night magic. Meet Vespertine, no sleep for the wild. She is a swirl of creativity and nighttime escapades. She is pure nocturnal playfulness and mystery. Going out at night is not only for the young. Night magic is for everyone. Explore the night. Go dancing or walk under the stars. Gather with your friends and talk into the wee hours. Sing and play music under the moonlight. Stay up to watch a meteor shower or a lunar eclipse. See the sun rise while the world sleeps. Watch your perspective expand and shift. You have more energy than you believe. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting like this mixing up your routines, because that's how you move energy around, and energy flowing is a good thing, right? Because it's the same with this birthing and this release. When you are moving energy around, you're allowing old energy to move out of there and new energy to move in. And we're living in an energetic world, right? And that's where all this new energy that's bringing all this beautiful stuff is coming from. Okay, night magic, also trusting in your intuition. And there's dancing. So if you are one who dances, that's a beautiful place to reconnect with your body, get back into the feeling. That's a good grounding method, right? Okay, that's all for this reading today. I hope there was some messages in there that empowers you, that provokes you, I don't know, pokes you, nudges you, high fives you, cheerleads you, whatever you need, okay, to shine bright and hold this card in your heart, because it's a big, giant, successful yes. Sorry if I burst your eardrums. Okay, there you have it. Have a good day. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. Love ya. Bye.